This video is in partnership with Steady, Enjoy DIY Life, and Snapfit Collectibles. Fuel your passion at Snapfit Collectibles. You can follow them on their social media platforms and e-commerce stores to see their latest releases for our hobby needs. What's up, fellow builders? Here are the worst and top kits for the first quarter of 2025. These are the kits I reviewed from January to March. Let's go! For this video, I'll be considering the following: fitting issues, joints, plastic quality, and overall look and building experience of the kit. These reviews are based on my personal experience and taste. I respect that everyone has their own building styles and opinions. First off, Jin Williams Bushon. The plastic quality on this kit is honestly terrible. It feels like building an old school bootleg made with cheap, brittle materials. It really took away from the entire experience. While the details are okay and the overall design isn't bad, the low quality plastic just ruins it. It feels fragile in hand, and you're constantly worried about stressing or breaking parts during assembly. Unfortunately, the stickers are just as bad. They don't stick well. The print quality is poor, and applying them is more frustrating than it's worth. If you're an out-of-the-box builder with no plans to repaint or heavily modify this kit, I'd strongly recommend skipping this one. There are better options out there that won't leave you disappointed right out of the box. Next is JMS Nightingale. The plastic quality is solid. No complaints there. The parts have a nice finish. They look good out of the box, and they feel sturdy during handling. From a material standpoint, it definitely meets expectations. That said, the real issue lies in the joints and overall part fit. I ran into quite a few fitting problems during the build. Some joints were really loose, especially in the key areas that affect posability, which was a bit disappointing. On top of that, a lot of parts didn't slot together as smooth as they should have. I had to shave down several connection points just to get the body to fit together properly. These kinds of fitment issue might seem minor, but when they keep popping up throughout the build, it starts to feel more like a struggle than an enjoyable project. It definitely took away from the overall building experience, which is a shame considering how promising the kit looked at first glance. WEI-MEI's Zaku 1 in Char's color. The plastic quality on this kit is just okay in my opinion. The details are sharp and it does look good visually. But the finish is a bit too shiny for my taste, straight out of the box. It gives the kit a slightly toy-like appearance, which might not be for everyone. On the bright side, I didn't encounter any major fitting issues during assembly. Everything came together fairly well. However, the joints tend to loosen up after just a few poses, which makes holding dynamic positions a bit frustrating over time. The stickers were also a bit tricky to apply. Some of them are small or oddly shaped, and they don't sit perfectly on curved surfaces, which requires a bit of extra care. Overall, the building experience for me was just okay, not terrible, but not particularly memorable either. It's a decent kit, but it didn't really stand out in terms of fun or finish. WEI-MEI's Doan's Zaku. Same with the Zaku 1 Char's custom. The plastic quality is okay. It looks fine overall. But again, the finish is a bit too shiny for my taste right out of the box. That said, this kit does have a slight edge, thanks to the option parts that came pre-weathered. Those add a nice touch of realism and gives some character without extra work. I did run into a minor fitting issues around the waist, but it was a quick and easy fix. Nothing that seriously disrupted the build. I actually enjoyed building this one, mostly because it's one of my personal favorites. So there was a bit of nostalgia and excitement involved. But looking at it objectively, the kit itself is just fine. Not amazing, not terrible, just somewhere in the middle. Planning to get your kits from Snapfit Collectibles? Use my code and get your 15% discount. Terms and conditions apply. War Models RX8 first G-Line Standard Armor. I didn't encounter any issues with this kit at all, which made for a smooth and enjoyable build. The plastic quality is great, everything feels sturdy and well made, and the details are crisp and clean throughout. From the panel lines to the smaller molded features, it really holds up well even without additional detailing. The joints are solid too, not too loose and not overly tight. Just the right balance for posing without feeling like you're forcing anything. Visually, the kit looks great once assembled. You get a nice variety of armor parts and weapons, which give you some display options right out of the box, adding to the overall value. One of the highlights for me is that it's not sticker heavy. You get just enough to add some accents, but it doesn't rely on them to make the kit look good. That definitely made the building process more enjoyable and less tedious. Overall, it's a well-rounded kit that's easy to recommend for both beginners and experienced builders alike. Singdong's Unicorn in Unicorn mode. The plastic quality on this kit is excellent, with sharp details and a nice matte finish right out of the box. It has a more realistic look that sets it apart from kits with a glossier surface, and it really doesn't need much extra work to look great. I only encountered a minor fitting issue around the waist, but it was easy to fix and didn't affect the overall build. Assembly was smooth and straightforward. It's also not a sticker heavy, which made the process more enjoyable, but I do wish it came with water slide decals to really complete the look. The final build is solid. It stands well even when fully armed, and everything feels balanced and well designed. Overall, it was an easy and satisfying kit to build with a clean, impressive finish. GAOGAO's Infinite Justice Type 2. This kit impresses with the sharp molded details and well executed color separation, making it look great straight out of the box. Ideal for out of the box builders. The joints are serviceable, not particularly tight or dynamic, but the build process is smooth with no fitting issues, offering an enjoyable experience that belies its GAOGAO origin. The included stickers are subpar, typical of third-party kits, but the addition of waterslide decals is a significant improvement, enhancing the model's appearance without the frustration of ill-fitting stickers. Overall, it's a surprisingly well-rounded kit that exceeds expectations in both build quality and presentation. JMS Ifrit Nap. The plastic quality on this kit is solid, and the undergating helps keep the build looking clean, especially for those skipping paint. One of its highlights is the inclusion of extra armor and option parts, offering more customization and variety right out of the box. I did run into a few minor issues during the build, but nothing serious. Everything was easy to fix and didn't detract from the overall experience. My main criticism is the lack of color separation, but even with that drawback, the kit clearly has strong visual appeal. It even ended up being one of my most viewed builds to date. Not perfect, but definitely satisfying and worth the build. KK Models RX79G Ground Type. Now this kit, it's just really nice. It's simple, but honestly, it feels pretty close to perfect. The plastic quality is noticeably better than JMS kits, and in my opinion, about 99% par with Bandai. That's saying a lot, I know, especially for a bootleg kit. The joints are excellent, smooth, solid, and they hold poses really well. What really sold me on this kit is how close it feels to building an official Bandai model. I actually have the Bandai version of this same kit, so I can directly compare the plastic feel and build quality. And this one comes incredibly close. It genuinely gave me the same satisfying experience, which I wasn't expecting. For me, this is easily the top kit I've built from January to March of 2025. It checked all the boxes: great plastic, great joints, no fuss with assembly, and a clean, solid result. And that's my top and worst bootleg kits for the first quarter of the year. How about you? What are your best and worst kits for the first quarter? Once again, my name is gundamdek, and thank you for watching.